Imagine waking up to a day that seems ordinary, only to discover it's your last, all because of a simple, unnoticed slip. This morning, a 72-year-old woman faced that exact fate. Her life cut short by a mistake she didn't even know she made. It wasn't dramatic or rare. It was something so routine that countless people over 70 do it every single day without a second thought. The reality, as we'll uncover, is both sobering and empowering. As we age, our bodies grow more fragile, more sensitive to habits we once shrugged off in our youth. What felt harmless at 40 can quietly build into a serious risk by 70, threatening our heart, our balance, and even our minds. In this guide, we're going to walk through 5 morning mistakes, errors so common they hide in plain sight, yet so dangerous they can steal years from your life. These aren't complex problems requiring drastic overhauls. They're small choices, easily adjusted once you see them for what they are. We'll break each one down logically, what it is, why it harms you, and how to fix it with clear, practical steps tailored for those over 70. Stay with me through this journey because the final mistake is one rarely discussed, yet it lurks in the routines of most seniors, raising the odds of falls, dizziness, and heart trouble. You'll leave this with knowledge that's simple to apply, knowledge that could be the difference between thriving in your later years or facing an avoidable crisis. This isn't about fear, it's about control. Aging brings changes, yes, but it doesn't mean you're powerless. By understanding these risks and making small shifts, you can protect your health and keep living actively, independently, and well. Let's start by peeling back the curtain on these everyday pitfalls, beginning with one you might be making tomorrow morning without even realizing it. Here's the first step to a safer, stronger day. Mistake 1, getting out of bed too quickly. Let's begin with a habit so ordinary it might not even feel like a mistake. Leaping out of bed the moment your eyes open. For many over 70, this is how mornings start. Feet swinging over the edge, body upright, and off you go, all in a matter of seconds. But here's the catch. What seems like an innocent burst of energy can set off a chain reaction in your aging body, one that's far more dangerous than you might guess. As we get older, our circulatory system slows down, less nimble at adjusting to sudden shifts than it was decades ago. When you've been lying flat for hours, blood naturally pools in your lower body, and standing up too fast demands a quick rerouting that your system might not handle well anymore. This is where science steps in with a term, orthostatic hypotension. It's a sudden drop in blood pressure that happens when you change position too rapidly. And for older adults, it's a common culprit behind morning dizziness or even blackouts. Picture this. You stand up and for a split second, your vision blurs, your head swims, or you wobble just enough to lose your footing. That fleeting instability isn't just inconvenient. It's a warning sign, a moment where a fall could turn a typical day into a trip to the hospital. Falls, as you likely know, are a leading cause of injury for those over 70, often leading to broken hips, long recoveries, or worse. Take Edward, a 74-year-old, who thought nothing of his brisk wake-up routine. Every day he'd roll out of bed in one swift motion, ready to tackle his morning, until one time he didn't make it past the first step. He blacked out briefly, tumbling back onto the mattress. Lucky it wasn't the floor, and that scare was his wake-up call. He realized his body needed more time, more care than it once did. Studies back this up. Research shows that up to 30% of seniors experience orthostatic hypotension, and for many it's tied to those rushed morning starts. So how do you fix this without overcomplicating your day? The solution is straightforward. broken into 3 logical steps you can build into a habit. First, when you wake up, don't rush. Lie there for a moment, take a few deep breaths, and wiggle your fingers and toes to gently stir your circulation. Second, roll onto your side slowly. Then sit up with your feet flat on the floor, giving your blood pressure a chance to steady itself. Third, before standing, pause again, stretch your arms, rotate your ankles, and let your body adjust for a few seconds more. This isn't about laziness, it's about precision. Those extra moments, less than a minute total, can cut your risk of dizziness and falls dramatically, keeping you steady as you step into your day. Think of it like warming up a car on a cold morning. A little patience prevents a breakdown. If you've ever felt off balance after standing, or if you want to avoid that risk entirely, this small shift could be a lifesaver. Your mornings deserve that kind of care, and your body will thank you with every stable, confident step. Mistake 2. Skipping water in the morning. Now let's turn to something you might not think twice about: starting your day without a single sip of water. For many over 70, the morning begins with coffee, tea, or nothing at all, pushing hydration off until later, sometimes much later. But here's why that oversight matters more than you'd expect. After a full night's sleep, your body wakes up in a state of mild dehydration, a condition that hits harder as we age. While you're resting, your organs keep working, your lungs keep breathing, and your body loses fluids through sweat and respiration, leaving you subtly parched by dawn. For older adults, this isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a setup for serious trouble if you don't act fast. Consider what's happening inside you each morning. Your blood thickens slightly overnight as fluid levels drop, slowing circulation and putting extra strain on your heart and kidneys. Without water to thin it back out, you're raising the risk of high blood pressure, sluggish energy, and even more severe issues like stroke or heart attack over time. Ever wake up with a dry mouth, stiff joints, or a foggy head that takes too long to clear? Those are your body's quiet signals, pleading for hydration it's not getting. Signals that grow louder and more critical past 70. Let's look at Jane, a 76-year-old who lived by her morning coffee ritual. She'd shuffle to the kitchen, brew her cup, and sip it slowly, never considering water until lunchtime rolled around. Then came the dizzy spells, the brain fog, the nagging headaches she chalked up to just getting older. Her doctor saw it differently. Skipping water was dehydrating her more than she realized, and coffee first thing only made it worse. When she started drinking a glass of water before anything else, the change was striking. Within weeks, she felt sharper, steadier, and more awake. The science supports this shift with clear logic. Dehydration thickens blood, forcing your heart to work harder, while proper hydration right after waking jumpstarts your metabolism and gets your organs firing on all cylinders. For seniors, it's even more vital. Aging bodies don't signal thirst as strongly, so by the time you feel parched, you're already behind. Plus, water aids digestion, a bonus if mornings leave you feeling sluggish or bloated, keeping everything moving as it should. Here's how to make it work for you, step by step. Keep a glass of water by your bedside so it's there when you wake. No excuses, no delays. When you open your eyes, sit up slowly. Remember mistake 1, and drink it down before you even think about coffee or breakfast. If cold water isn't your thing, try it warm with a slice of lemon. It's gentle on the stomach and feels like a treat. This small habit, taking just a minute, rehydrates your cells, eases your heart's load, and sets a steady tone for the hours ahead. Don't let dehydration sneak up on you. It's too easy to fix. Your body's been laboring all night without a refill, And at 70 or beyond, it needs that morning boost more than ever. One glass of water could be the difference between feeling drained and feeling alive. Give it a try tomorrow and see for yourself. Mistake 3. Drinking coffee before eating anything next. Let's talk about a morning ritual that feels like second nature to so many. Reaching for that first cup of coffee before anything else hits your stomach. For those over 70, this habit might be a decades-long tradition, a comforting signal that the day has officially begun. But here's the hidden snag. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach, especially as you age, can throw your body into a tailspin you don't even notice until the damage creeps up. Your digestive system, your energy levels, and even your nerves take a hit, all because of timing that seems harmless but isn't. At this stage of life, your body deserves better than to start the day on edge. Let's break down what's happening when that coffee meets an empty stomach. After a night of rest, your blood sugar's low, your digestive juices are dormant, and your cortisol, the stress hormone, is naturally peaking to wake you up. Pouring acidic, caffeinated coffee into that delicate balance spikes cortisol even higher, jolting your system with unnecessary stress. For older adults, whose stomachs might already be more sensitive, this can irritate the lining, sparking acid reflux, heartburn, or a queasy feeling you can't quite pin down. Ever sipped your brew and felt jittery, lightheaded, or unsettled afterward? That's your body waving a red flag, asking for a buffer it's not getting. Take Robert, a 75-year-old who swore by his black coffee kickstart. He'd wake up, brew it strong, and sip it slowly while his kitchen filled with that familiar aroma. Food could wait, he thought. Then the acid reflux started, a burning that crept up more often than he liked, which he blamed on spicy dinners or just old age. His doctor pointed to the real culprit: coffee hitting his empty stomach like a shock wave day after day. When Robert switched to eating a small snack first, a banana or a handful of nuts, the discomfort faded and his mornings felt smoother. The logic here is simple but powerful. A bit of food before coffee acts like a shield, soaking up acidity and slowing caffeine's rush into your bloodstream. This steadies your energy, no sharp spikes or crashes, and spares your stomach the irritation that builds into chronic issues over time. Studies show caffeine on an empty stomach can boost cortisol by up to 50% more than if paired with food, a stress load your aging body doesn't need. Plus, for those with slower digestion past 70, that early bite kickstarts your system gently, setting you up for the day. Here's how to adjust this habit without losing your coffee joy. When you wake up, reach for something light first. Think a slice of toast, a few crackers, or a piece of fruit, and eat it slowly while your coffee brews. Then sip your cup, savoring it with a stomach that's ready, not reeling. If mornings are rushed, keep a small snack by your bedside or prep it the night before. It's worth the extra minute. This tweak isn't about giving up what you love. It's about enjoying it smarter, protecting your insides while you're at it. Your coffee shouldn't fight your body, it should fuel it. At 70 and beyond, a little food first turns a risky routine into a rewarding one. Try it tomorrow and feel the difference for yourself. Mistake 4. Ignoring morning stiffness and moving too quickly. Now let's shine a light on a mistake that sneaks up on so many over 70. Brushing off that stiff, creaky feeling when you wake up and jumping into motion anyway. You know the sensation: tight knees, a stiff back, or shoulders that protest as you roll out of bed, only to fade after a few minutes of shuffling around. It's tempting to chalk it up to just aging and power through, assuming it's no big deal. But here's the truth. Ignoring morning stiffness isn't harmless. It's a gamble with your mobility and safety. As we age, our bodies stiffen overnight, and rushing into movement without warming up can lead to pain, injury, or a fall that changes everything. This isn't about weakness. It's about giving your joints and muscles the respect they've earned. Here's what's happening while you sleep. Your body rests, but it also slows. Circulation dips, and the synovial fluid that lubricates your joints thins out, leaving you less flexible by morning. For those over 70, this natural process intensifies as cartilage wears and muscles lose some elasticity, making that first move of the day a critical moment. If you stand too fast, twist awkwardly, or step without care, you're asking stiff joints to perform before they're ready, risking a tweak, a sprain, or worse. Ever felt a twinge that lingers all day, or taken a step that nearly sent you stumbling? That's your body begging for a slower start, a plea too many dismiss until it's too late. Consider Walter, a 78-year-old who prided himself on staying active. He'd wake up stiff but push past it, heading straight for the bathroom or kitchen without a second thought. Until one morning changed his tune. A quick step off the bed caught him off guard. His hip gave way and down he went, landing hard and facing months of recovery. It wasn't a fluke. Doctors say falls like his often tie back to rushing through morning stiffness, a risk that climbs sharply past 70. Studies show nearly 40% of seniors experience joint stiffness regularly, and ignoring it doubles their odds of injury. The fix is simple, logical, and takes just a few minutes. Before you even sit up, wake your body gently, wiggle your fingers and toes, then roll your ankles in slow circles to stir blood flow. Next, still lying down, lift each knee toward your chest a few times, loosening your hips and lower back with care. Once you're sitting, roll your shoulders forward and back, stretch your arms overhead, and breathe deeply to ease tension. Then stand slowly, using your bed or a chair for support if needed, and take your first steps with intention, not haste. This isn't about coddling yourself. It's about preparation. Those gentle movements prime your joints, boost circulation, and cut your fall risk by waking your body properly. If mornings feel dim or cluttered, keep a lamp nearby and clear your path the night before. Small details that add up to big safety. At 70 and beyond, your mobility is your independence, and protecting it starts the moment you open your eyes. Don't let stiffness steal your stride. Ease into your day and step forward with confidence. Mistake 5. Skipping a morning stretch routine. Let's move to a mistake that might not even feel like one yet. Skipping a proper stretch routine right after you wake up. For many over 70, mornings are about getting going, making breakfast, feeding the cat, or checking the news, not pausing for something as simple as stretching. But here's why that choice matters more than you might think. Without a few minutes to limber up, you're leaving your body stiff, tight, and vulnerable to strain all day long. As we age, flexibility fades, muscles shorten, and joints stiffen, and skipping this step can quietly chip away at your strength and balance. This isn't about becoming a gymnast. It's about keeping your body ready for whatever the day brings. Picture what's happening after a night of sleep. Your muscles have been still for hours, tightening up as blood flow slows and your joints settle into rest. By 70, your body doesn't snap back like it once did. Tendons lose elasticity, and tension builds in places like your back, hips, and calves. If you skip stretching and dive into your routine, you're moving on a frame that's not fully awake, risking pulls, aches, or a stumble that could have been avoided. Ever notice how reaching for something high feels harder in the morning, or how bending down leaves you groaning? That's your body hinting it needs a warm-up, a hint too often ignored. Take Helen, a 73-year-old who thought stretching was for athletes, not retirees. She'd bustle through her mornings, gardening, walking the dog, until a sharp pain in her lower back stopped her cold one day. It wasn't from lifting anything heavy, it was from bending over after hours of stiffness she'd never addressed. Her physical therapist pointed out the obvious. A few daily stretches could have loosened her muscles, sparing her weeks of discomfort. Research backs this up. Studies show regular stretching cuts muscle strain risk by 20% in older adults, boosting balance and easing joint stress. Here's how to weave this into your morning, step by step. Start sitting on the edge of your bed. Stretch your arms overhead, holding for 10 seconds to open your chest and shoulders. Next, stand and gently touch your toes, or as close as you can get, easing your hamstrings and back for 15 seconds, breathing slow and deep. Then step side to side, shifting your weight to stretch your hips, feeling the tension melt with each sway. Finish with a neck roll, tilting your head gently in circles to release that early tightness. 5 times each way does the trick. This takes 5 minutes, tops, but the payoff is huge. Stretching boosts blood flow, warms your muscles, and steadies your stance, making every move smoother and safer. If you're worried about overdoing it, go slow, listen to your body, and stop if anything pinches. It's about ease, not effort. At 70 and beyond, staying active starts with staying loose, and this simple routine can keep you moving freely day after day. Don't let tightness tie you down. Stretch it out and feel the difference from your very first step. As we wrap up this journey through your morning routine, take a moment to reflect on what you've just learned. These 5 mistakes, rushing out of bed, skipping water, coffee on an empty stomach, ignoring stiffness, and bypassing a stretch, aren't rare missteps. They're habits woven into the lives of so many over 70. But here's the uplifting truth. Now that you see them clearly, you hold the power to change them, to turn small shifts into big wins for your health. This isn't about rewriting your entire day or chasing perfection. It's about starting each morning with care, giving your body the support it needs to keep you strong and steady. At this stage of life, those opening hours set the tone. Why not make them work for you, not against you? Think about your own mornings as they stand today. Maybe you felt that wobble when you stand too fast, or that sluggish haze from skipping water, or even that ache from moving stiff joints too soon. These aren't signs of weakness. They're signals you can answer with simple, practical adjustments we've laid out together. Each fix is designed for you. Easy to try, quick to do, and built on logic that respects how your body changes past 70. Whether it's a slow rise from bed, a glass of water by your side, a bite before your brew, a gentle warm-up, or a 5-minute stretch, these steps add up to something profound. More energy, fewer risks, and a day you step into with confidence. This matters because your health isn't just fate, it's a choice shaped by what you do every day. Aging might bring challenges, but it doesn't have to mean surrender. Small habits like these can keep you active, independent, and in control for years to come. Picture it, mornings where you feel awake, not weary, steady, not shaky, ready, not rushed, mornings that fuel the life you want to live. Try one change tomorrow. Pick the mistake that hit closest to home and see how it feels, then build from there at your own pace. You've got the tools now. All that's left is to use them. So what stood out to you today? Maybe it's the story of Edward, Jane, Robert, Walter, or Helen. Folks just like you who turned a risky routine into a safer one. Or maybe it's the science that clicked, showing how your body thrives with a little extra care. Whatever it is, hold on to it and let it guide you toward a morning that lifts you up, not wears you down. You're not alone in this. Every step you take builds a stronger tomorrow, and that's a gift worth giving yourself.